All right. So
So
far,
far,
so
so
good.
good.
Good,
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 good.
good. So far, so good. Good, good, good.
All right. Let's try and improve this day, shall we? Okie doke. Oh, good. There it is. Alrighty. No idea if anybody's going to be watching this one today, but be doing one today and one tomorrow. Be a little bit less noisy this time because I think something went wrong with the extruder motors on my Centauri, and that means that it's kind of dead until I can figure it out. Which does not help because I was making some progress on the base for the Doctor Doom statue. Okay, also means that I'm a little bit limited in certain options. I'm going to work on that though. Okay, just because these were piled up. Got it. All right. So then, first cool thing. This is almost going to be exclusively about the... Go away. Exclusively about the Vault and the Dragon Egg today, because it will take the most amount of time. However, we do have one cool factor so far. That is this. So, this is actually parts from when I first attempted this a while back on my Neptune 4 Max, but the simplicity of the Centauri makes this go so much smoother. Now, I realize I need to go get my my tablet, and hope that it has enough battery power, because one of the only catches with this is that it needs instructions. Because there's a certain order in which you put it together. But for the positive side so far is that, let's see. Now this one I may have to scrap because it's already kind of damaged. We'll see how the gears work. I had ordered some replacement pieces, some better actual metal dowels. But of course, Amazon can't figure out how to deliver them, nor can the UPS. Okay, so see, so far this is actually working properly this time. But this is a test example. So I'm having a few little issues here and there. Okay, that's the damaged-ish one. I think I printed out another one of those. Okay. That's the old one that has some issues, and here we go. All right. There. You see it does not move with this in place. Turn that where they're in, and oop. Gold isn't all the way in. Okay, that's my bad. Must not have those in properly. There. Okay, now that's where that should be. And that is going to be so cool. Okay. I'm going to take it apart and play around with it a little bit because I want to paint these. So that's what we're going to be working on here. I only need to paint certain portions of it. And this is actually all fine and dandy as it is. So we're going to start by painting that. And then I'll go ahead and start to work on the back plate because I have been overdoing it like crazy. I am reaching a point where I'm openly admitting that I am pushing myself to do too much stuff too soon. And not much I can do to stop that or readjust that now. It'll get a little bit better after the holidays. But I am very much aware of how far I am pushing myself to do too many things with what little time I have after Kroger. Okay. So, don't want to touch the metals because I need that for the Doom. So no silver and no chainmail. going to use the actual paintable paint, not the airbrush paint. I still haven't gotten that clean because I'm doing way too much stuff. I'm probably doing way too much stuff on a level that falls very much into the category of unhappy. Okay. The tinny tin, I tend to like to mix these two. Bit of brassy brass. And a touch of copper. I want to make this a bit more unique in terms of color. Now, I don't know if this one's as metallic as the others, but one second. Okay. There we are. I was thinking about putting something on just to have some background noise to help calm. I'll get there one day. And I just got to finish my brothers. Let me actually go ahead and show how far I've come with the So I was using clear coat, a glossy top coat on the, let's see, need to use it on the back a bit more, I think, but this is my sister-in-law's. I think he turned out well. Okay. So let's see here. Hand medication hasn't fully kicked in yet, but should still be doable. We're going to go with the brassy brass. If I can get this glove on. Let's extend this a bit. Okay, that's a bit better. I don't need the white. I do still need the white later, but not right now. Definitely don't need these two. Put them up over here. Oh, stop it. Cabinet started creaking open. All right, so let's go ahead and see. It's going to be best for this. It's an interesting metal, but I think it needs to lighten. That would be more brass. I could put a bit of gold in there. Gee, you know what? Glorious. Oh, there's a bright. Gotta mix it up first. Bright bronze. Let's see what this does. I have not used it yet. Interesting. See how it goes on. I don't know how well it'll hold, simply because it's also going to be on something where there's going to be movement. I'm going to put a few coats of the glossy top coat on it. But I don't know. What do you think? And on my list of stuff to do tonight is to actually get see if I can figure out, like, I've seen some streamers who have it where it'll do the whole like vocal notification, because in the off chance that somebody is actually watching this stream right now, I can't actually hear you because my phone is my camera. I can get this channel to the point where I can get wireless camera. That's a whole different story. But right now, that's kind of where we're at. Just gotta be very careful with this so that it does not make this kind of build up. I cannot. That's okay. It's going to be interesting because it's like some of this is going to have to be sanded down, because part of the problem with the original one was just how much of it was done. It had too much buildup on it, though in that case, it was actually because I hadn't actually filed. One of the biggest things that fixed the issues just from using these older pieces was actually using my deburr to fix this hole here. Clear it out properly so there's less material that the bridge or whatnot from the Neptune had actually created. It made it where it could not move clearly. Sorry. I get that way when I'm actually trying to do a physical something and a word something. Let's call it that. But I want this to look cooler than just like, slightly glittery red. And I have no idea how I got glitter onto this. And since this isn't really sanded, I'll probably need at least one more coat. But I want at least the pins to look real. Oh wait, I think actually. Oh, now I know why these. Apparently, I spray painted the red onto here a long time. I don't know why I would have thought that back then. Oh, that was a few years back. This is going to look a lot cooler. I do still think the gold probably would be a nice add-on. I mean, come on. That already looks so much better than that. But this is my last week to work on these. So I'm going to keep working on it even after the stream ends. Should probably just be when my phone dies. And then be back tomorrow. I'll actually get some measurements done, and I'll go over, and not only will we get to go through the finishing touches on this entire project, but you will get to watch me wrap up the presents. Okay. There we go. I'm going to actually add in. Let's see, I want a little something. I think just adding in the bright bronze and more brass is going to be the better option than tin and copper. It just darkens it more than I'd like, especially when in contrast with that. Yeah, it's the game color, so that's exactly what I want. That's a lighter shade. Let's see how it looks. See, can you tell the difference? I think I like the lighter one. May put a bit more in there. I'll wait for the other one to dry and then we'll go back to that. Okay. I gotta be more careful with having too much paint on the brush. That's where I'm going to run into the biggest issues in the beginning. Okay. Mm. Okay. Yeah, and I'll just kind of very gently sand this down further once we get to that point. For right now, I'm going to focus on this. At least I think I've got the springs that will make this work. I've still got the dowels that I 3D printed, because those were a challenge on the Neptune 4 Max. They'd be easier on the Centauri Carbon, but I have got to get that. I got to figure out why it's not feeding the filament like it's supposed to. So that's a whole different hardware issue. The only reason I'm going to try anything out on the 4 Max right now is simply because the base of the pretty much the base of the Doctor Doom statue does not need to be pretty, shiny, high detail-y. It just needs to come out in the shape that it's supposed to. Then I bind it all together, and then I'm going to go through and do the prepping and everything to have it into parts. Don't really need anything to be pretty for maybe another week or so. Although I was hoping to actually do a fusion core before the next season of Fallout came out, but that may not happen. We'll see. It may not be that big of a deal. It's just time and how much time I had to do this, and then also keeping up with all the content stuff that some of you may be seeing me doing. Like, I've been surprised by how much people were interested in what I'd done so far with the new content. So who knows? Maybe people are actually watching this. That would be cool. Yeah, in the off chance that nobody's watching, I need to start putting these links everywhere now that I've added in a Ko-fi or however that thing works. If anybody wants to support or however, this is just a fraction of what I look forward to being able to do. And if Eligo catches on to this, please, by all means, send me a CC2. I'd love to get a support deal like that. That would just be awesome. I mean, there's perfectly room in the... There's room in the shed somewhere. Oh, I just won't really have... My vacation hours will reset next... It's December, yeah, so next month. And then we'll kind of figure it out from there. Depending on how things look by my birthday in February, I might try and do some really cool stuff later. All right. Making some progress there. Okay, I'll flip it over in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and give this another... Well, it's not fully dried yet, so no on that bit. Okay. Need some different colors. I may have to use the silver. And I need new palette-y things, but I'm trying to save money where I can. Mm-hmm. Ah, dang it. Something had congealed in the tip. Okay, that's going to be more than enough for this then. Gonna try and make sure it does not go over the edge too much. But then again, this is actually going straight down, so I don't really have to worry about that part very much. Just need to worry about this part. Okay. See if that can kind of... In comparison, I think that actually turned out really well. Now we are going to have a use for Tinny Tin on its own. Should not need much for this. Okay, the only thing with this is that it does change the color of this enough. You're going to kind of want to... in a way that does not create a blockage per se, but still enough to make it look real. Need a bit more cherry tin. Getting it into the gears without making it dunk up the gears is going to be the interesting part. Look okay so far. You got the top looking good. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We do have two versions of this. Oh no, I just reprinted it twice without realizing it, because that one has the, and then this has the fancy end. Let's figure out what color you want to make that. You go onto here. And there's a piece that I need. Hopefully I do have, I have a copy of it somewhere. It's essentially the part that goes on here to hold the pins in. Part of the locking mechanism. I've got one of the original parts somewhere. I've just got to find it. Okay. Now then. This is where we're going to get the gold. That is glorious gold. Actually, I should have another one that I can use in place so I don't cross those paints too much. Ah, la-di-da-di-da-di-da. Nope, that's a fine detail. That's a fine detail. Okay, there we go. Oof. Okay, that may not be the right choice for this. You'll need at least 2 coats of that. To be honest, you don't really need to do the whole thing because this will be encased in the structure. So this could actually just probably cause problems. But I'm already doing it. So, oh well. And maybe, just maybe, but I highly doubt it, Amazon will get its stuff together and finally get that thing over here. Tomorrow. Because the assembly is kind of that big, important part. Okay. Interesting, but looks decent. Trick is, I gotta make sure that it all flows nice, smooth flow. This is actually looking pretty good this way. So you got, it's not streaky. You got the lines going. It just needs another coat to really bring out that gold color, but it looks better than I thought it would. It's like, here. Here's with what I did with the cosmetic wedge. Here is what it looks like without it. So see, it looks a lot better with that touch up. So we're going to let that dry for a little bit. Okay. Now then, time for this guy. Okay. Let's see, what color do we want to do this in? I don't want to use up the chainmail if I don't have to. That's the tinny tin. Brassy brass. Let me see what bright bronze looks like on its own. That's a lighter color. I mean, brighter, maybe. Let's give it a shot. Or actually, well, it's a bit late now. It's like, oh, wait, I could just do this in the blue since it'll be part of the frame. But I've already done it, so I will save that for another piece. Gotta be careful here so I don't leave paint all over my phone screen. So this still has the burnt in design. How well that will go look in the end, I'm not entirely sure yet. I think it depends on how you balance out the paint application. Mm-hmm. Okay, there. Let me get a new wedge from over here. I just want to kind of give it a bit of a dab approach. You can still get, okay, I've still got a few more coats on it, but you can still actually get the look of that. The look of that design in there. It's still good. That's always good. Now, let me see. Gloves real quick. Okay. Here's where this is going to get a bit interesting. Okay, that's too much, but still sounds about right for this whole process. Okay. So I'm not even going to try and bother with the airbrush, given how overwhelmed it's been lately. So we're actually going to do... I already got stuff on my fingers. Also, there. Bailey. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, I want something... Yeah, this would be perfect. Okay, we're just going to kind of keep the flow going this way. The same direction. Try not to overdo it too much. But at least from this angle, the design is still standing out nicely. Which is good. Mm-hmm. Because I really don't want to have to sand this if I don't have to. So you can kind of see... Oh, there we go. You can kind of see it already right here. The etch design is still going through, which is great. Okay. Wasn't sure how well this is going to do just because using the filler, like the automotive filler primer thing first and getting it all sanded down, the paint does tend to bond better or attach better, I guess. If you are a diehard painter and hate my terminology, I apologize. Feel free to send me a link to a dictionary. But it does seem to adhere to it at least better. Okay, come on, keep it nice and smooth. That's not bad. One more coat should actually do it quite nicely. And then I'll probably just clear coat the base and then work my way around the other side. But I've gotten it smoothed down to where you can almost barely, if at all, feel it. But I still think my nephew's going to love this. So we've got that to where we need it. The inside could probably use, oh yeah, the inside needs some work done, but that's a separate thing. Let's see. There's one more part. And this is the other area we're going to do it in the blue. And to be honest, let's see, how's this? Oh. Yeah, this was part of the frame that I printed originally. That's back when I did not know how to sand anything properly. So that's going to get reworked completely. Salvageable, but I've got to do some serious sanding and stuff on it first. So we're going to come back to that later. For this bit, though, I do just need a little bit of you. So we're actually going to keep this blue as well. Though, to be honest, that's the wrong brush for that. Stiff, but decent. Just kind of gives it a nice, consistent, complete look in the end. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. May have to sand some of this down a little bit. Okay. Just realized I should probably be wearing gloves again. I hate when I do that. Okay. Coming along. Still need to do the underside of it, but it'll look nice and consistent that way. Now, should be able to put one more coat on here. Well, to be honest, I need to put it on the side of the frame as well. Needs the outer side, but to be honest, the inner side would be good too. Sorry. Okay. That was which one? Nope, not Tinny Tin. Bright Brass, that's the one. There we are. Keep it consistent in the flow. This way it looks like the lines are all in one direction. Hopefully. I hope I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it still does a decent job of showing off the holograms that are cut into it now. More Bright Brass. Oh dear, I've got blue on the brass now. The importance of wearing gloves. Okay, I'm going to set that aside somewhere here. All right, I need to get the gold. Okay. Okay, get the teeth nice and shiny, but not. Uh-oh. Okay, got to work on that. Okay. Now, I don't know if there's anything left of that little extra bit there. Let me do this. Because I need to get into here. Now, I had a fine point one. This may work. Whoa, sorry. Gotta reach the switch. There. I'll drop you down to under 600. Still need to test this theory out. If it works, we're awesome. Pretty sure I can rely on the printer to at least create a layer sheet that I can then try to adhere. Okay, good. We are hot enough to do that. The goal in this is to melt it just enough to get you in here, but not put a humongous hole that it'll fall right into. Okay. Creating more of an indent. Okay. A little bit more, but we're almost there. That's awesome. That's working better than I thought it would. That is perfect. I could actually probably jump this up a bit more. Let's try 560. But you want to just drag it over and not punch it. You are trying to melt the layers, not puncture them completely. And then as they melt, then you can just make the indent. Ooh, that worked out even better, I think. Oh, yeah. Okay, about 560 if you have the model like I do is working great. All I'm doing is lightly dragging it over the area that it is supposed to go into. Needs a bit more. Then you get the indent. It's going to be right where that goes in. Okay. Because I want that to be where the glue goes. Okay, that works. Good. So now let's get some tape. Question is, do I have any tape in here or not? I do not know. Okay. So far, we know that these will work in here. So this should give me plenty of magnets, really. That one could probably use a bit more work, but I can always test it as I go through. I mean, they're going to do that since they're not glued in, but as long as that's working properly. It should hopefully hold. And then the next thing I'm going to do, once I figure out how to get my heat gun to do it, which is one of tonight's projects, I'll be infusing those into this one. So here's what we're going to go ahead and do now. Where's the right egg? That's the wrong egg. Here's the right egg. Okay. This is the one he's actually going to be getting. Good, 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 good. Okay. Needs a bit more. Nope, still a bit more raised than I want it. I want to try and make sure that the magnet is completely level with the surrounding area. You gotta do it very carefully. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, a bit more. Needs a bit more. Okay, that's starting to get into a hole. Okay. Ooh, that was getting a little too far. Okay, that's got a good depth to it. Whether or not I'll be able to get that many magnets in there working is one other story. However, that's why I'm going to try and set the... I may or I may not. It'll all depend. I was at least going to try and get... Okay, that's not bad. Okay, let's see how well these work. Okay, this must be, I think, the new one. Or fuller one, at least, I hope. Okay, that did not work. That's weird. Okay, I have to let that dry and then come back and do it again. Okay. Let me just switch over to this one. Okay, these need to be deeper. Shit. I think I got lucky because I thought I cracked it for a second. That's not happening. Okay, it needs to be wider. This one needs to be deeper. So I almost had it. Okay, that's better. Ah, that's the side that has the super glue on it. Okay, it needs a bit more. Stop trying to accidentally crack the egg. Okay, it's almost... Okay, that one I think is good. This one needs to be deeper. Okay, there. This one may be a bit trickier. Okay, there we go. Okay, that looks like it should work. Okay. Damn. Why is it when I put the super glue on, it doesn't want to work? Okay, let me see about this one. This one may be the newer one. Let me find out. Yep, okay. Yep, that one's holding better. Okay. Good. Mm-mm. Okay. There we go with that one. Okay. See how this one goes. Oh, good. That's in a perfect. Okay. Now, let's see here. Good. That is looking great. Now, how well does this one go in here? That one needs some more work. But on the flip side, the super glue is already doing a great job holding it in place. So that's exciting. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Almost got it. So you got 4 in place. Just one more. Now, how far off are you if I put you in now? Okay. I just need to dress this side a bit more. Trying to see how well this will. Oh, shoot. That one's actually super glued to the deck counter now. Okay, this one's just being super stubborn. Okay. That should do it. Nope. Shit. It super glued itself to the other one. Okay, I think I'm actually going to give up on that one because that's dangerously close to the rest. So that's where we're going to stop on that. That's way too challenging to try and get that in there properly. Then I'm going to try and heat or paint it over or something to cover this part up so it's not obvious. And then, hopefully, where'd I put it? So at least those, it's not going to be a crazy strong bond, but I mean, it could hold a little bit. Let's have to be very careful with it. Question is, how on earth do I get it to stay on? How do I get these on there? That bit, I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Okay, let's get back to what we can work on right now. So, there. Alrighty, let's see how the box is doing. Honestly, I don't know if we really need another coat with this, but we can give it a shot just to see. Those brush is starting to stiffen. I'm going to have to make sure I wash that in a second. Actually, you know what? I think I may leave it at this point just because, if you notice, it is starting to drown out the design, and that is not something I want to do. So I'm going to leave that where it's at. There's a few areas on the side that need the touching up, though. Yeah, for the most part, this is looking good. Could be cooler with the airbrush. I will work on that. Worst case, I'll just have to wait and work on it my birthday or sometime next month. Just because it's one of those things, I have such a very small amount of free time on a good week. And now that was before I'm trying to learn voice acting, audition for voice acting, do the 3D printing stuff, fix my 3D printer. Thank you, Extrusion Gears. And then also do the content stuff, which is important to me. I am grateful for everybody who shows up. And if anybody shows up for this, you are awesome. Even if I am an idiot who forgot to set up properly and as such cannot properly hear you. If I see any comments on my thing, I will absolutely respond. I think I'm probably going to take a break just a bit and work on making sure I have the mechanism down. To be honest, this part probably doesn't need it as much. But I need to make sure I have the door bit down. Okay, so that's probably where I'll go ahead and end the stream for now while I wait for this to dry. Yep, thanks if anybody showed up, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow, actually. So this week we're going to have a special second one because I still got to wrap everything up. So that needed a trip to Walmart, which is happening tomorrow after my paycheck. So have a good day, everybody, and have fun. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.